Hi and welcome to Valley View, our wonderful home here in the Sierra de las Nieves mountains in southern Spain. Today is the 1st of February and our workaway volunteers who had been with us for 3 weeks left yesterday. So this is just a video update on what exactly we managed to achieve over the 3 weeks they were here, what we didn't manage to achieve over that period of time, mainly as a result of being in local lockdown and not being able to get supplies. But also we had some very windy and some very wet weather as well when they were here, which disrupted the work that we were doing outside. So I hope you enjoyed the little bits of photos and videos, whatever you put together. The next video I do will be on our experience as hosts and hopefully give you some tips about what to put in your profile in order to ensure that everybody gets the most out of the experience. There's certainly some things that we learned that meant that yesterday I went back and redid our profile. So that's the next video. Meanwhile, enjoy this one.
Almond blossom time here in southern Spain, which runs from the beginning of January through to about the first week in February. And as you can see, it's pretty spectacular. I thought you might appreciate a look at just how beautiful this part of Spain can be in the winter time. This really is beautiful. So one of the jobs we decided to do while the volunteers were here was to build a planting bed outside the tiny house. And this was mainly prompted by the fact that we were left with a lot of spoil after we had started to dig out the chambers for the grey water system. So the first piece of video you're going to see here are Catherine and Laurie, who are starting to put in the bedrock layer on the planting bed outside the tiny house between the railway sleepers. And here you can see where they got the bedrock from, as Jens and myself completed work on the first, or the filter chamber of the grey water system. Once we had this in, we were left with a big hole in front where I'm going to put the collection tank, and we decided at that point to call that Laurie Lake, and here she is in her lake. So that worked out very well. And here it is now with the tank in place. I've still got a little bit of work to do on cementing that in. You remember that we put a drainage system in behind the tiny house to collect any overflow from the rainwater tank, or if it had rained heavily. At the other end of that, Jens constructed a loose stone culvert, and you can see he did a fantastic job. As well as being a wonderful bricklayer, he's also pretty good at laying this type of dry stone wall. And you can see I've got some wire netting over the end of that to prevent the rats from getting in and depositing loads of almond shells.
Just as a reminder, we moved that tank from behind this tree here over to here and rerouted the piping so that it was in a flat area, and if it needs to be filled from a tanker or a bowser or whatever, it's much easier to get to. So apart from the jobs that I've shown you, the drainage system, the grey water system, the floor, and the bed outside the house, also while they were here we did another water fill into the big tank from the tank down at the dome, and we moved water backwards and forwards from a few tanks so that we could move the tank that was up there. But one of the other things that we did was demolish an old shed that we had here that was falling down, and we got a start on clearing that, and I'm going to continue, and I'll just show you that now. So here's the remnants of the shed. It had started to collapse as a result of termites, and what we did was when we had the digger here digging the trench to do the drainage, we got him just to knock the roof off it so that it wasn't dangerous for us to work. We started to take the timber out. My idea is to use some of that timber in the new kitchen. So I've pretty much decided that I'm going to make the carcasses of those the base units for the kitchen myself. I'm going to rip those up, whatever I can salvage out of it, and make a frame that I can put the top on and get the sink into it as well. And we'll see where it goes from there. One of the things that I had hoped to get done while they were here was to put in the kitchen, which should have gone on the corner behind me there. And that didn't happen because we couldn't get the kitchen. The kitchen is in Marbella and we're in Monda. And we're not allowed to move outside of our area, and they won't deliver. So I'll have to wait until lockdown is over in order to collect that and put it in, or alternatively scrap that idea and make one myself, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'll just make the base units and put the worktop and the sink in, and then worry about some wall units at another time. Apart from that, there was a fair amount of weeding that went on and an awful lot of singing. There were fantastic musicians and singers, and as you know, I'm a professional guitarist, so we really had a great time. Laurie sings a bit as well, and we had some lovely meals and some wonderful evenings. Okay, so I hope you didn't find that too patchy. I know that the audio is a bit all over the place, and it's something else I'm going to have to look at. You would think at this stage I'd be getting better instead of worse, but I will do my best to sort that out for next week. And I hope you enjoy these brief glimpses into what's been happening here. I look forward to seeing you next week. See you then. Take care.